Hey guys, Alex Mortensen with Buckhorn Land Management. Had an interesting call this morning from a client. Live in Central Illinois. A lot of the clients that call are only interested in their deer population. And this guy was actually reaching out about turkey, which kind of struck an interesting conversation. And I decided I'd talk to you guys a little bit more about it today. So I guess his biggest concern was he felt the turkey population in his area was down over the last 5 years. Now, the first thing you got to ask yourself is the turkey population actually down, or are you just not doing your part to improve the land to hold those turkeys? Now, if you had them 5 years ago, there's a possibility that maybe the population is down, and there's some things we can do to control that. So first, a lot of the benefits that come from improving your land for turkey benefit the deer as well, so keep that in mind. Food, cover, water. You guys hear it time and time again, so we'll talk about that a little bit. But first, we're going to talk about predator control. Coyotes, foxes, bobcats, obviously they're all an issue to the turkeys, but probably not the sole reason you don't hold turkeys anymore. I think my opinion is a lot of it is going to come down to the habitat in that area. So some things we can do to improve the habitat. If you have open area, assuming you do, you can disc some of the old, grass thatch that's been laying around forever and not really providing any benefit. Disc it under, bring some new soil, disturb it a little bit, and that'll help stimulate the growth of new vegetation and also bring some of the bugs that are underneath all that soil for the turkeys to thrive on. So another one's just mowing. Everybody's got a mower, so that's an easy one. If you have an old patch that probably hasn't been touched for a few years, it's definitely beneficial to mow it, not just for the turkey population, but to clear out any of that. A lot of times you'll see locusts and briars and things like that start to take over your clearings, and once that happens, the turkeys won't utilize it. So another one's just burning. It's the quickest, easiest way of doing it. Every couple of years, come back and you'll get a lot of that thatch just laying on the ground. Light a match, be safe, obviously. Hire somebody if you don't know what you're doing. But just light a match, let that stuff burn down, let that new growth come up. Not only brings the insects through, but it also brings that new vegetation for the turkeys to thrive on. So probably the most common one that we do is planting food plots. It benefits not only the turkeys, the deer as well. So soybeans, corn seem to be our favorites just because they do help with just about all the animals you're hunting there. So soybeans particularly being my favorite. But with that said, you want at least a 2 acre minimum. Now, kind of a rule of thumb I use is use at least one plot for every 30 to 40 acres of land that you have. So if you've got an 80 acre farm, you want at least 6 acres, in my opinion, of food plot. So it doesn't have to be all beans. It can be, you can do your turnips, whatever, anything that'll bring insects in. There's special mixes for turkey if you want to do that, but I try to use something that benefits the deer and turkey together. So next on the list is timber thinning, selective harvesting, if you choose to go that route. So a lot of timbers get taken over by, at least around here, get taken over by honeysuckle, multiflora rose, things like that. And when that happens, it pretty much kills out all the forage on the forest floor, and it benefits nothing. I mean, not the deer, not the turkey, not anything you're trying to harvest. So that's usually where we come in. We'll thin out that bush honeysuckle, make an open forest floor, let the mass producing trees, your oaks and hickories and things like that, drop their nuts, make it to where the turkeys can come in, scratch the soil, find acorns, find bugs, whatever it might be, and make it a little more, I guess, attractive to the wild turkeys. So, and I guess before I move on past that topic too, a lot of times you'll see those big oaks, that the turkey's been roosting in for the last 10 years, they start to get abandoned, and it's strictly because of the bush honeysuckle and the other invasive species that have taken up around them. Now, obviously, a turkey's not going to come up to the bottom of a bush honeysuckle and jump through it to get up to that big oak tree limb that it's trying to roost on. So I think it's a big advantage, not just for the deer, and I'm not saying go in and thin out an 80 acre farm and make it to where there's no cover, because obviously you need cover too. So if you have a big oak flat up on top or something that you want to clear out, that would be my focal point. I'd focus on whether it be 5 or 6 acres or whatever, clear it out, make it an open area where the turkeys can scratch, the deer can come in and browse, and I think that'd be a big improvement to your land. Last but not least is water. Do you have the water on your ground? Is it a creek? Is it a pond? Is it a lake? What can we do to add water if you don't? Adding watering holes, whether it be just blocking a little ravine, in a 3-foot hole or whatever, just to add water throughout the summer. Not only do the turkeys come down and drink that water, but it also attracts insects. And when it attracts insects, obviously turkeys thrive on those as well. So there's a lot that goes into that. You obviously don't want to attract stagnant water, so don't just block up a dam and expect it to be, a good thing. But I hope this short video helped you guys out. But if you do want to talk about it more, or you do have interest in improving your turkey population, feel free to reach out to me, Alex Mortensen, Buckhorn Land Management, 309-258-2403.